What's going on, traders? Are you guys ready to get to some trading action? Things are looking interesting. Yesterday, we got a downturn, but now we're getting a nice bounce. Stick around and why you might not want to miss a great trade idea that I got for you guys coming up right after this. Hit the like button. Let's get it started. It's live trading with Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Good morning, all out there, and we just got to start it off with a nice laugh, and I appreciate guys like Robert bringing the lighter side of life in here. This one will actually get Ryan laughing. So I'm gonna put him on right when I get him on here with it. What do you do when Buddy's out of control?
Dude, I have put him in the bedroom and closed the effing door several times.
Close the fucking door, bro.
Facts.
I love it, Robert. Robert, that was a perfect one to get started. I know that too. Sometimes you'll see me just slip in the background. I'm like, yo, Hendrix, get the fuck out of here, man. But that's just how it goes, guys. We'll see what happens today. Have a good time, like always. It's good to see you guys out there. I always enjoy to see this community. So let's get to the action. We'll get to some stock trading. You guys are talking some hockey? Now you guys are really trying to get Ryan excited. Not the biggest fan of those teams, but hey, that's Triple D's teams.
So this is funny. I actually saw some stuff on the Twitter this morning, Bissonette and the Spittin' Chicklets podcast. What happened? What is the Oilers debacle in San Jose? Well, I'll look it up here, but I have no idea what happened. I actually haven't watched an Edmonton game in a few weeks. I've been watching a lot of Toronto games. McDavid's back, right? Anyway, I'll look that up. I have no idea what happened, but I want to know.
Hey, he's the guy. I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you if I'm going to talk a little hockey, I'm going to give it to Ryan to talk about it. I need to get back into hockey. Normally, I come into hockey towards playoffs because who doesn't like hockey playoffs, man? That's probably top. I think in playoffs, I love other sports, right? But to tell you the truth, there's nothing like a hockey playoff match. That thing's insane. Let's get to the action. TLT bouncing back today. That's definitely the watch, right? We've been talking about how that's the indicator to keep your eyes open for. We'll see what happens on that one. Now, the trade that I wanted to talk about, and I told you guys I'd give you guys it, is looking to see what happens with the cryptocurrency names as we are continuing to get the lift. So, Bitcoin was pushing strong, Ethereum pushing strong. Does somebody know something about that? Maybe that spot ETF, right? It's pure speculation, but man, the way that things come out, a lot of the times I feel like people sometimes know things way before we do. So that's something that I'll keep a watch on. We'll see if these stocks can continue ripping. Yesterday, coin was up near that 100. Let's take a look at where it's at right now. It's at 94.75. Can it get back to yesterday's high of 99.73? Something to keep an eye out for. Just a trade idea. We'll see what happens there. A lot of stocks coming in with earnings, things shaking around. Now it's just time to see what happens out there. There's a lot to talk about. If you guys want to talk about any of the tickers that had earnings, please throw them up in the chat, and I'll make sure that we can talk a little bit about some other action. Jonathan Cooper, the ransom attack in China's biggest bank disrupts the U.S. Treasury markets. I don't think that was really kind of disrupting our markets and more the China markets, but hey, that's something definitely to catch. We'll see what happens. Ransoms attacks, maybe sometimes what we see lift off of that is just cybersecurity stocks. So maybe that's a different play that you could be thinking about today. Will stock like PanW, ZS, CrowdStrike, will those get the lift based on just news like that? Hey, that's just something to think about. I appreciate you smashing the like. Let's get it started, guys. If you guys have a stock that's on your radar today, throw it up in the chat. We'll make sure that we cover it before the bell. And let's get to the action with Ryan. We'll talk a little bit about the SPY. We'll get into some smaller names. And man, I didn't know there was so much hockey fans in our chat. Interesting to know.
Well, we've said it a number of times. We really do have the best community, so I'm unsurprised to see all of the hockey fandom out there. I did brush up on the Oilers. They're just really having a disappointing start to the season with uber loads of talent. I think that coach has got to go. I think you gotta replace the coach. I think that's
that's usually what happens, right? If the talent is good, but the system isn't good, then the players can't play for that system, right? And that's why it's so important to match your players with your system, right? If not, it won't work out.
Look at what that can do. Look at the Las Vegas Raiders, who lost to the god-awful Chicago Bears, fired Josh McDaniels, and then the next week when Antonio Pierce took over, there was a jump in everyone's step, and they pounded their opponent. The right coach can make a huge difference, and in hockey, you absolutely got to go a different direction.
So, Coach, how do I play today, baby? Get after it. What do you see in the SPY?
All right. So SPY here, we had a huge candle down yesterday. We basically stopped right at the 100-day. We blew right back through 436.40, and we came close to the 50-day moving average. I'm still in the bearish camp. I got to think that we continue to sell off here. Maybe this is a little bit of a bump here. We'll see what happens. One of the things we saw yesterday is we moved down right away. We had a pretty decent bounce that likely sucked people in, and then we reversed again to the downside and puked people out. So as far as the SPY goes, I want to see this come back in. I want to see this come down to 426 and then ultimately break 400 to the downside. One of the things that I was saying in happy hour yesterday is what I'm hoping for is a complete destruction of our market. I want to see selling off. I want to see limit halts. I want to see the entire market halted. I want people scared. I want capitulation. I want people running for the exits and mashing the sell button indiscriminately across the market. That will set up the next wealth move. Now, I don't think we're going to get that here. So in the meantime, we'll try and be tactical about some of the plays that we get.
Yeah, and I think that one thing that I've talked about, Ryan, is that sometimes things can look a lot rosier and then all of a sudden just fall off a tape. That's the way I feel like for the end of the year, right? Things are going to look better. They're going to seem better, but really the house of cards is getting ready to fall.
Yeah, and one of the other things that we were discussing is that in order to have that type of event, you really also need to have low liquidity in the market, and that's what we have right now. So yeah. We'll see. Because this is what the market really needs, I don't think we'll get it, at least not anytime soon, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I've been looking at those types of CDs and securing money too. So, Kevin, I can't blame you for taking that 7-month CD that's paying 5.5. I've seen as many as even like 4-month CDs pay 5%. So, yep. I don't know about you guys, but if I can get guaranteed money sometimes, it does make sense, right? Let's just be honest, especially in a choppy environment. And like Ryan and I don't feel too positive about the market in the long run. So moments like this actually make sense, securing some money.
And I see a couple of comments here next year. I think so. I think that that's more accurate. I think 2024 is going to be a very, very tough year.
Yeah, definitely something to think about. Let's get to the action. Let's take a look at some of more of the stock action today, Ryan. What's on your radar? What maybe caught your attention, especially overnight and this morning?
All right. Well, I basically just looked at a lot of the stuff from yesterday was going to be some of the earnings. But really, there are a couple of stocks here this morning that we want to take a look at. First one here is going to be INVO. We've traded this one before. I did not see anything in here. I don't see any fresh news in here. So if you guys have anything for this, let me know. This stock has traded on the technicals plenty before. I expect it to do it again. We're getting a nice gap here, and we're seeing some decent volume here in the pre-market. So if we see that type of volume flow in the regular session, we might have an opportunity here in INVO. It's just a little tough for me because I don't have all of the information about why it's moving at the moment. Next is going to be DRTC. This is Direct Digital Holdings here. The stock's up 33%. We did have a catalyst here. Direct Digital shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q3 financial results. Okay. Thank you, Cal. INVO merger with Naya Bioscience. I'm not sure why that's not in there. I'll go ask the news desk what happened there. But that's good. Good information to know there. Merger. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So this is why we talk about our community being the absolute best. You guys are out here just getting it done. Love to see it. You love to see it. Mats, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because look at what happened yesterday, right? We popped, we bled back, and then we kept bleeding the whole day. Let's see if we get the same reaction here today. If you trade this, just be mindful of what this can do. Modus GI shares are trading higher after the company announced the PureVu EV's Gastro was successful and used in the first procedure since receiving FDA clearance. So there we go. We'll see. Now, Bitcoin names also hot here today. They've been hot. What's going on here? Bitcoin names also hot here. They have been for the past couple of days. They're going to be on the list here. The other thing that I'm going to be watching for is some of the things that Mitch was talking about yesterday, some of these ETFs like the SOXL, SQQQ, TQQQ. We'll see. Those should be in play here today. I was taking a look. There were a whole bunch of stocks that reported earnings. They're going to be moving here. We had a couple of penny stocks. TCON is up nearly 90%, up 14 cents here for all of you penny players. TCON, they, I guess, had earnings. There's some other stocks that we'll see if we end up getting a bounce. One of them is the Trade Desk, which got absolutely destroyed yesterday in the after hours. Really horrific earnings. At one point, this thing was down 30+%. You can see here we are up off the bottom. Low print here about 52.70s, and we're back at 59 here. So my question is going to be, we've got this huge gap now. Does this bounce? Does this give us an opportunity to play? The other question is, does this bounce, stop, and then return to the lows? There actually might be an opportunity on both sides of the trade here in the Trade Desk today. I know I don't necessarily trade options in this name, but I know that this name has options. I'm pretty sure when we were doing more options trading, Zunaid was trading the Trade Desk, but in any case, we'll see if there's more of a bounce here in the Trade Desk. And I think there was another one in here that I really wanted to take a look at. Win Casinos. This actually might play into some other Macau names like MLCO. We'll see if that materializes here today. And then it was Unity down 10%. Purple is down. Purple Innovations. This is now a penny stock down 11%. I think that's about it. A lot of stocks here just really getting shellacked. The one thing that I will say is that some of these stocks, especially these smaller bios here, just really getting crushed. FBIO offering, TWOU, mixed financials and guidance. I mean, this stock's down 25%. FBIO down over 35% on the offering. So a lot of destruction out there in some of the smaller names. I really do think these indices are kind of being propped up. So that's just forcing me to be a little bit more careful with what I choose to end up going after. Let me know if there's any stocks that you folks want to take a look at. Hoping for dips to get on TTD to get calls. Bobby, it looks like you're trying to play the bounce on the Trade Desk. You wanted me to take a look at ticker DEO. Let's do that. This is ticker DEO. This down 13.5% here, down $21.50. How do you pronounce this? Diageo? I'm probably butchering that, but in any case, Diageo shares are trading lower after the company said it expects slower growth in H1 FY24 and H2 FY23 due to weaker conditions in Latin America and Caribbean. So this is not a stock that I follow at all. Diageo. Okay, cool. Thanks, Marty, with the phonetic pronunciation there. Same deal here, right? Maybe we get a bounce in this name. What is the volume like on this? Average volume, about 500,000 shares. Stock's pretty high priced. I'm not sure about this one. Well, the one thing I will say is if this bottom holds and you start seeing this volume approach or even get over the average volume, there might be something here. So this could all be about the volume. This is one I'm not familiar with, but definitely one I'll take a look at here. Maybe this does bounce. This has huge range here. So good call, Bobby. You're holding puts on Rivian and Affirm. How's Affirm doing? Down 0.2% here today, basically flat. The pop yesterday, of course, I think wasn't someone in here shorting right around 27. I feel like yesterday someone in our chat was talking about doing this. That paid pretty well. We'll see if we get some more downside here today. Let's see what else. If you drink, you are familiar with it. I do drink, but I drink mostly wine. Maybe that's why I'm not familiar with it. I'm talking about Nicola. We're not even gonna do that. Jay saying for the trade desk, Kramer's a raging bull on the dip. Glad I got out. We'll see what happens with that one here today. Is there any other stocks you folks want to take a look at? All right, let me know if there's any other stocks that you want to take a look at. Futu, that's Mumu's parent company, right? How's that doing here? $57. That's actually still doing pretty well. This is actually kind of an interesting daily chart here. Maybe if we can get above this, these brokers like Robinhood recently had earnings, really didn't do well. I'm interested to see if this stock can do well. I mean, looking at the chart here, would love to see this kind of take out some of this area, but I don't really have an angle on it. Don't necessarily think that I would trade this right now, given my feelings on the broader market. Ryan, way to the extreme, the middle way. Okay, chat, I'm sorry. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Thoughts on Lilly? Lilly, man, that has been any of those weight loss drugs. These things have been absolute ragers. The big question on Lilly is going to be, or on any of these that are involved in this, is there still the next leg as more and more people are approved to use these drugs? There's a huge contingent of people that thinks that is the case. And if so, I mean, Lilly definitely going to go higher. I have no position in this. I'd rather not buy. I mean, if we take a let me actually do a retracement on this real quick. I just want to see from March, earlier this year, March, stock was $300, just about $600 now. I mean, I'd want to pull back to one of these levels, to be quite honest with you, in order to take Lilly for a little bit longer term. This big move here, it feels like at some point this has got to pull back, but we'll see. We'll see if that ends up materializing. Lilly been super strong. My issue here is I don't really want to chase it. I'm going long Tcon. Okay, good luck. Good luck. Market is open. Hopefully Mitch gets back here pretty soon. Let me flip over to my main page and we'll get rolling here. Marpi. Tcon. DRCT, Hewlett Packard, HP. We'll pop off the gate here. Don't really. There's INVO. Let's see. Is this okay? INVO actually looks like this is going to take out its pre-market high and go higher here. Big pop there, INVO. That was fast. I'm still waiting out the first 15 minutes here to try and not get trapped. INVO, nice little move right out of the open there. Coming back in towards that level. Let's see if it holds it and then bounces and goes higher. That would be what I'm looking for there. Let's check in on the trade desk. That is still moving higher here. TTD. How do we try that and trade the pool? TTD looks like it is trying to bounce here out of the gate. Let's see. Any of you guys trading TTD? Guys and gals, excuse me. Let me know. Sorry, just looking around. Okay. That looks like that's solved. Okay, sorry about that. DRCT pop. Actually, TTD is still moving up here. Let's take a look at DRTC. That did pop right to the VWAP here. Awesome stuff. Is this Blink charging? Blink charging down here at $2. Yikes. Wasn't that a double-digit stock not long ago? Let's look at the daily chart here. Oh, man. Yeah. Look at that chart, guys. That is so bad. That is so bad. How's Life W doing today? Seeing a couple of people mentioning that here. Take a look at Life W. That is popping here. Let's see where we can see if we can get above yesterday's intraday high. I got that at 791 Life W, 791.
Let's do this thing. All right. Looking at Pan W get a little spike here out the gates. It looks like that cybersecurity trade could be going on. So I'm going to take a look at maybe taking a trade in that area today. This Pan W already getting a little bit of a hot start here. I'm going to look at CrowdStrike. That's already getting a hot start there. Zscaler, that's a little bit of a laggard there, but definitely all three of them going red to green. So that's one thing to keep an eye out for. Those actually don't look too bad there. I got an upstart alert there to the downside action. Yeah, upstart starting the day on the downside action there. Interesting.
BRB 1 sec.
All right. Let's get after it, team. What are you guys looking at out there? I saw LFIW. Yeah, popping a drop, man. That thing's a little bit of a fast mover there, and just be careful out there, team. Now, the only thing I do like on this one is that it does have a lot of like kind of hourly hold around, let's say 605 to the 7 spot. But it's a hard trade without a doubt. Maybe it can make a pump towards like maybe 936 today. I wouldn't personally be looking a little bit higher than that because I feel like I'd be asking for too much. But if I come at this a little bit slow, maybe you can get that, but not necessarily something I'm looking at this second. I do see this DRCT pulling back here, bounced multiple times off this 340, 350 area. So if this one's going to go to 4, it could hold that 350 area and really start to come back now. I like how it got above 350s when the 380s came back to 350s and held here. So I kind of like this. This doesn't look too bad. I maybe take a shot at 360s here and see if it can come back above the VWAP. DRCT, trying to play a little bit of a smaller play here. It doesn't look bad at all. There it goes already, guys. Look at that. Now, I was just taking a look at it. Boom, the 390s. Not a bad little lift there to start the action here. DRCT, and look at that. Look at the speed on this bad boy. Back down to that 352 spot in just about less than a second there. Man, this thing is moving all over the place. Was this on the radar today, Ryan?
Yes, DRTC was absolutely on the list.
Crazy, crazy stock there, moving left and right there. So you guys are liking this one. This one definitely has some action. Let's just say that much. Is the liquidity small in this? Is the float small in this? It seems like it because from the action that I see there, that is some wicked action there. I'm trying to see the volume in this thing. It already has like what? A couple million shares traded on that first candle there. 1.4 million. So it's not like it doesn't have volume here. That's really interesting there.
All right, sorry, getting some stuff taken care of on my end.
All right, guys, what do you say we give it a shot there? Let me see if I can get 60s here. All right, I grabbed it right there. I'm going to hold off like a $20 risk. Nothing crazy, guys, just to start the day. Let's take a little bit of a shot on this. I'm going to actually do it a little bit less. I'm going to do 344 as the stop. There you guys see it, 344s as a stop. I wouldn't want it to go through that 350 now. I just want to come back up and get through 4. As we get through 4, I'll be up about $40. I could take like maybe half off and just leave the remainder break even if it really wants to rip. But taking a shot here, I've talked about the levels here, and I talked about 360s just a second ago, right? When it popped the 390s. Let's see if we get back to that level and take out the 390 spot on the upside. Close on a 5-minute basis above this trend line would be looking pretty decent. Let's see if we can close above towards like 380s in the next 5 minutes.
I took some here with you. I think maybe this goes.
There's 374, is 376.
And then right back through.
That's okay. Like that's why That's why I'm looking for the close on the 5 minute. I'm not even going to the 1 minute. 1 minute's just going to make me scared here. And that's why I don't like 1 minute charts overall, because they can increase the emotion. I've learned, at least in my trading career, and you guys take a look at your own trading career, maybe relate this. But as I go shorter in time frames, emotions increase. They don't decrease. So that tells me that sometimes maybe I want less emotion. So 5, 15, maybe even an hourly. Aaron bringing an interesting one. Aaron Childs. I don't think I've seen you in our chat before, but it's good to see you bringing Corsair up. And that's an interesting name to bring up, of course.
Oh, yeah, Corsair.
Corsair, yeah.
I read that as CRISPR at first. My apologies.
No, you're fine, man. And I understand that. They just had recent earnings, and I believe in that stock because of Elgato products. I don't know about you guys, but I have a couple Elgato products right in front of me. So that just tells me enough, right? I always try to stick to those stocks that I kind of know. Here's the pop, guys. We're getting the move on this slow mover today. Now to 385. What are you looking at, Ryan, for sell targets and stuff?
I want to see 390 get popped, and I'll probably close this. I'm in a position where I'm okay taking my gains here. We just popped through 380. There was a little bit of size there. That's great. Hopefully we use that as support as we trade back down here. But let's see the size get taken off at 390 and get popped right above.
I'm going to put you up so that people could see yours. Yours is a little bit bigger, so I kind of like that, you're taking it in a different approach here. I'm taking it for a little bit of a swing, for a little bit further action. We'll see what happens. Big thing for me, hourly candles are looking good too. If we can close back through 4. We have a pre-market high of 412s. That's where I'm going to look to see if we slow down a little bit. Where does the wall set up here? That's what I'm also looking for. I talk about the wall all the time. We'll see if it gets up there through that 4 today. All right, guys, 380.
This looks like it's going higher.
Yeah. I hate saying that one, I'm just watching the action on the 5. I'm trying my best not to move inside the 1 because that's going to really kind of affect me. Like I talked about it, this closing a 5-minute candle above like the 370s is good for me. And it's about to do that in the next 3 seconds. Next candle. And we close it at 382s, 383s. That's a good sign for me.
Yeah, let's go higher. Let's take 390 off the top here.
So you see here's on the 5-minute outlook here. And so now you start to see that it's okay. For me, I just wanted to hold the throwback look now. Throwback look, you can make it bigger, and I'm gonna make it bigger here so we can look at it. That's what I'm gonna watch to hold on any pullbacks. Essentially, if it goes below that, that's where I get a little bit concerned. And it could make a higher low, which is like 357s, but I'm looking for it to hold like 365 pullbacks now.
A little bit of size brought in there at 380. We'll see if they end up taking that right here. They're on 380. A little bit more size there at 380. That's driving it down. If that snaps, I got to think this goes to 390 pretty quick. K-Chat asking, Ryan, you spoke of the market crashing and capitulation. Why? Because that's what we need. That's what I want to see for the next wealth move. I want to see all of the COVID bloat come out of all of the different names. I want to have an opportunity to buy quality stocks that are depressed.
All right, guys, I will tell you guys that right now we're getting that up move. I don't know if it's a fake out to the upside, but technology pushing strong to the upside. Industrials pushing, cyclicals pushing, basic materials pushing, even energy is just slightly red. But man, be careful out there if you're a bear, because definitely some strong action to start the day.
Marty saying might be a bull trap coming. Let's go DRTC. Let's keep
coming down today, guys. This is going to be one that I'll be looking to short. I've been talking about it. I have the swing trade on it, so I've been keeping up with the swing trade. Lost on one day trade, but don't mind taking another one today. Look at that downside action coming in there. So pull back to the VWAP. Let's say 368.78s, 368.90s. Oh, I'd like it. I'm going to put an alert for right now to let me know when it gets there, and go back to DRCT.
DRCT coming back in here. This is not what we wanted to see on DRTC.
I'm okay with 365s holding here. Like, it went right to it there. And that's a throwback look. That's where algos would be adding on like determine trend line. If they have a way of determining a trend line, that's exactly where I normally see algos add. So I could add there and hold towards break even, but that doesn't make sense because I'm just slightly below it. So at this point, what I can do is look for a higher low trend, make sure that we close back to 365. So a wick down here, higher lows, and then the key is the close above 365. You see the higher low? That's what I want to keep the trend going there. I can draw a trend line on that too, just to kind of give you guys the perspective. That's that look here to where it holds that higher low. And the angle is important. You see the angle? That's very acute, as they would say. TLT pullback, that's something definitely to catch.
Triple D doesn't mention the Oilers anymore. Poor Dennis.
Zippy's just shooting fire at Triple D. Go hit him up on Twitter. Send him an Oiler picture. At Triple D him.
He's a big Oilers fan?
Yeah, he's a big Oilers fan. All right, here's 365 coming back. A minute 30. Let's see if it starts to close up here. And that's the key, right? A fake out to the downside, close above this, and then the next candle go green through, let's say, 390s. That'd be the bullish look there. It's interesting. There's not many times where Ryan and I play a play together, and here you guys see it. We're coming after it. Soxal, let's go to the Soxal as that's continuing. You guys are seeing definitely that strength. Look at Mara, red to green there. This is one I wanted to play, so I don't want to miss this. Now I'm looking for pullbacks, right? Opportunities to 943s, 940s here. Makes sense for me. I'm going to look for that pullback action. Let's see if we can get it here. Riot's another one that I like, the action. That one's just off of VWAP. I actually like that more, the laggard, right? Play the laggard play. So Riot's off this 1047s. I could jump up right here, but up one, down one. I have to do my rule of three, up two, down two, up three. Can I get an attempt here to 1038s, 1037s? That's where I'll start trying to get some Riot. Dun, dun, dun. Set some alerts here.
Jay likes INDI, Indie Semiconductor. This is a very good small cap semi name. Interesting. I'll do some DD into that. Would love to hear what you like about it, Jay. It's an interesting name. I've never traded that before.
All right,
definitely interested in small caps. I don't think, like I said, I think a lot of them are going to be really crushed as the market comes in, but that'll be the time to add. I got no problem building a watch list.
There's the next candle. Where do we close? We closed the 370 there on DRCT. So now I could get an attempt to break the higher low trend. And that's where I got to keep an eye out right there. You see how it just broke the higher low trend? Now it becomes dangerous. At least it's not higher lows on the trend. So now we really need to start holding in. If we go back to 385, I'm going to move my stop literally right below this 355.
There's some size here at 365 now. That's going to be the next spot. That's got to get taken or this thing's going lower.
Nice eyes out there, Ryan. I like it. Good mention. Palantir in the chat being called out, and Affirm, Cole, Boyle. You know those stocks are banned, Marty.
Banned.
Get after it.
They took that 10K offer out.
All right. A little bit of a shake and bake them right
and
there.
Actually, you know what? That might have been removed.
All right,
that might have been. I don't see it in the time and sales.
The pullbacks coming at the same time. Mara's pullback. I'm taking 100 of that if I can get it here. All right, just took a little bit of that, and I do want to add, but my ad's going to be towards the bottom of this range, towards 930s there for Mara. That's where I'd maybe take a little bit more of Mara. I'd like Riot too. It just did the pullback there, so I'm going to take 100 of this also here. Trying to play a little bit of that Bitcoin play to the upside today. So there you guys have it on Riot. I'll risk down there towards the 1023s. It's about 15 bucks, nothing big, right? But I want to play it two ways with Mara also, and willing to add on Mara because it's the bigger mover. And now going back to that DRCT, I'm just playing out there, guys. 3 trades on. Let's get after it. Smash the like.
INVO might be going higher here.
All right, I can definitely. Where do you have that one on Pro? Maybe.
No, I was actually looking at that on Trade the Pool here.
All right, I'll
It
put you
is
up.
on the scanner. So here, no, let's get them both up. This is a really good idea, actually, Mitch. I've got INVO on Pro and DRTC or DRCT, excuse me, on Trade the Pool.
Morrow,
INVO looking
right
like it's
back
trying
up.
to take out 140 here and go higher.
Morrow right back up. So playing a little bit of that crypto play out there. What's going on out there? Who's my crypto traders? Anybody in here actually actively trade crypto? Let us
And when
know.
you say trade crypto, you mean the crypto itself, not
Yeah,
names.
I would
not
love
stock.
to know
Yeah.
that. Right. Yeah. Right. Ryan, because I talked about how I want to bring on someone that actually trades crypto and does well. Like I watch the way he comes after it. I'm impressed. So like always, I always like to find different traders in different areas. So look towards getting that interview. I know that we were going through the kind of the rule of the pool competition. So I didn't want to bring him on during that because we were going to be talking crypto, but stick around for that, guys. We'll see what happens. But I see Marty saying no actual crypto, but Riot, Mara occasionally. It's interesting. Nancy saying some Ethereum. I've always wanted to find out more of the actual traders than, the investors, right? So it's cool to find that. And who knows? Maybe I start an actual crypto trading show. This we need to think about. Would you guys be interested in that? Press a 1 if you'd be interested in a live crypto trading show. Of course, it would have to be more like a swing trading style of crypto because it's open 24/7. And, I kind of lose my mind watching stocks like that. But here we're getting some pullback action. Riot and Mara were green for a second there. So let's see if Riot and Mara can hold this pullback. DRCT is below the trend line there. So not liking that, but we're still holding in here. We're still holding in, and there's some bid support. So let's see if we can get a green candle above 385. That's kind of the next breakout spot. We'll find out, guys.
355 break to the downside flushes me out of this.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to set the stop now. Oh, wait, that is the stop. I have to do it through here.
See if we get that move. Mara back to the green there for me. Makes me feel a little bit more confident, but would love to see this take 950s again, and then I can maybe add just there. I'm going to cancel this limit add down at 930s. Want to definitely to hold this kind of VWAP attempt and then get back towards 966. How's coin doing here? And how's our Qs? Our Qs were strong. Qs are taking another leg, but they're right now going sideways. They did this kind of like a pause candle at the 373s. Let's see if it wants to continue going here. SPY's up too. How's the TLT doing? That's in the green. 88.27s. Haven't seen no strong downside action in the TLT yet. If you guys see that, like always, alert us.
DRCT.
All right.
Back from the dead, rising like the Undertaker, folks.
Here, you tell us what's going on there.
That was for you, Mitch. That was for you. And you didn't even give it to me. Blink, by the way,
like this.
Great call, Smoke Tuna.
Look, Ryan, just for you.
There we go. I know you're the big wrestling fan.
Oh man, when you used to do that move, when he was just laying dead there and all of a sudden just wake the heck up. Oh, I know that used to scare the crap out of me even as a little kid. I was like, yo, run from the Undertaker. No lie, I kind of didn't like the Undertaker because he used to scare me a little bit. Like Kane, oh my God. What a character.
What a character.
All right, here's
remember, just because you are a character doesn't mean that you have character.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. That's why we try to do it. We try to bring it here, right? Lord Ryan, Money Mitch.
I mean, we try.
Get the SBF wig out, right? To maybe make this go in the green. Nah, man.
How is the SBF wig going to make anything go into the green?
Right now, he's singing, I'm locked up. They can't let me out.
Okay.
They won't let me out. I'm locked up. No.
I've never seen Mitch like this, by the way. This is a first for me, so.
He's singing that Akon song. I know that he was asking for his medication, his Ritalin or his ADHD medicine for his court appearances. I don't think he's going to be getting that easily in jail. Here we go, Ryan. Time to sit back, relax, man.
We need 380 to fall first. Hopefully that pop through that level will take us to the next level that we need to have cleared, which is 390. And maybe we pop through that. I'll say this, given the kind of back and forth here, unless it really, really runs, we'll probably close that on that.
All right, Mara, I'm going to look for the ad at around the 930s, but it has to start bottoming out here. So we'll see if it starts to work its way back.
INVO halted to the upside here.
All right, man. You're on the screen. I'm going to be right back. 2 seconds here.
Yeah, you good. We're just, at this point, we're just waiting out this DRCT trade. Grats to all of you in INVO. Here, Jay, this is the stuff that I like going after. This is what I really, really appreciate. The management at Indy is impressive. All ex guys from big semi companies, not going to say anymore. Do some research on the team. Okay, well, you should say. I encourage you to say some more. That's what helps us here. This is the exact type of stuff that I really like, especially in swing trading. Remember, I've said a number of times, I prefer to swing trade over day trading. But this is really good stuff. I will absolutely use this as my due diligence jump off point, Jay. The RCT not giving us the upside move that we need. See where we go here. Oh, he's got me on full screen. I don't think we need to do that. What if we do this? Oh, but he takes himself off. That's what happens. So I can't. Oh, God. And I can't do this, right? I can't. Yeah. What if I do this and this? No, that doesn't work. All right. I'm going to have to go full screen on this. Looks like we might get stopped out here.
I'm back. I see it. I see it. I see it.
Stop is set. Let's see.
I see it. I see it. It ain't looking pretty. It's holding in there, at least for me.
It's holding. It's holding. My stop's at 354. So if it breaks 355 to the downside, I'm out at 354.
All right. I'm going to set a stop buy now at like 385. So like if we start going in my favor for the 4 pop, I'm willing to take a shot of adding at this point. Could have just been opportunity cost there. But I have my stop and I'm going to slightly move it up here towards like 46. I'm just slowly starting to tighten up. Mara is still like just dropping here a little bit. TLT is trying to look a little bit unchanged. Q is still going higher though. Junie. Shout out to you, Junie. I wish you the best too on those affirmed.
Shout out to anyone that's short and affirmed. I absolutely love seeing it.
That's why I was like, yeah, I like it. That put a smile on my face. Oh, man. What's up with Mondelez? I think it's coming back up. Yeah, it's starting to come back up. I want to keep my eye on that one. I would like to short the heck out of that.
Uber and Lyft both ripping here. Maybe just a little bit of a regression back to the mean after yesterday.
Looking for one more little pop here to start getting short on Mondelez. Just dropping fast here. I might just try to get a starter.
On Mara?
No, on Mondelez short.
Oh, Mondelez. Here, I'm gonna put your screen up.
I'll get the starter on there. I'm gonna raise the ad towards 68.80s. I did get out of Riot, so Riot did hit its stop out, but just a small little stop out, $15, guys. I'm still in Mara though. Looking to see if Mara can bottom out here and then start to work its way back up. So make a double, like triple bottom or double look on the 15. That could even be down at 920. So I got to be careful here. So it was an extreme wick there, but that's why I haven't added yet. Five-minute has some closes right around here. So this is kind of like where I'd want to see it reverse right back up. I'm not going to add until I see a green candle come back through like 934 because I don't want to increase risk on the drop of a candle. Mondelez giving me a little bit of a push here. So I'm going to push my add entry just a little bit higher. It's right back to 76. It could reject off to 75, but if I get a quick pop, I want to add at the top of that pop and then hold off 69. DRCT still in the green there. I like the trend now. So you see this trend line? I can go ahead and start moving up my stop and look for the add right now. I'm looking for the add. There's the add, 100 shares added now. Let's move stop up. 354.
Okay. I see you, Mitch.
And I have another add at 385 if it just wants to go now. You see this trend line? You see how we started holding it? That's what was giving me the sign that maybe take a shot. So we came back through it, but now we're starting to hold it. So I wouldn't want to see a wick anything in this area really now. I wanted to start going. That's at least my outlook here.
INVO, for any of you that played that, awesome. This thing halted, popped into the 180s out of the halt. Now it actually looks like it's trying to go higher here. Make sure you trim and pay yourself if you're in INVO. This is going to be halted to the upside here again.
370 is the wall, 10,000 shares. Blow through him. Let's see if we can get to the 380s.
It's every 10 cents, it seems, in DRCT, Mitch. 70s, 80s, and 90s.
All right, this looks decent. Keeps holding up there. I'm going to put 82s now to bring the limit. Add. Back into play. Mara starting to kind of equal out too. Next candle is about to come. And then I'm going to use that bottoming of this candle, the 26, to eventually take a risk if we start coming back to the 934s. Here's an attempt downside. It can wick and then start looking like a hammer and then come back through this, which would be a bullish engulfing candle. I'm looking to see if I can get that. Ultimate risk is right here, 920s. Shouldn't break this red to green action. Some buying support around the 922s. Let's see what happens if on that bid there. There we go. Start to turn there. Now it becomes a wick. Now I want to see a strong up move here towards 940s. DRCT is definitely testing down here. We got to be careful with that, but would want it to just break through that 370 upside is where it's fighting right now. There we go to 367.
Michigan consumer sentiment print is in for November, 60.4 versus a 63.7 estimate. The prior reading was 63.8. A really soft reading on the Michigan consumer sentiment.
Yeah, big wick there on the Qs. So just be careful out there. Things could be moving fast here, team. That's where you got to be careful, right? Because you could get a bunch of wick action here. I even want to set up a protective stop here for kind of Coinbase. Cancel this. All right, protective there underneath it. Like
that sell wall on DRCT. Geez, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't see it anymore, but I don't know if it was taken because I don't see it in the time and sales. A little bit more size, 378, and I don't see the size. It looks like maybe it's decreased size at 380.
I'm moving stop up, guys. Now I'm only stop here is what I'm focused on, right? And so at this point, I'm only risking 25. And if it really moves through 385s and gives me that next add, I'm going to be looking good to take a nice swing here. So 354 is the stop right there. Let's see if it can really hold like 360s now. Qs are coming down fast. That could be affecting it. Mara already testing that downside action there for me.
POW, by the way, ticker POWW, ammo.com. That is a swing in my main account. I got a long-term swing on that. The thesis is that 2024 is going to be an absolute nightmare, and ammo stock should go higher. POW reporting earnings, not great, really selling off here, but looks like they're coming up off the bottom. Big bid brought in there at 227 as well. I added to my swing on this move down, by the way.
I'm adding the Mondelez here. So taking a little bit more of a shot on that one. And if it goes through my entry, I might add again, especially with this downturn in the Qs, downturn in the SPY here, downturn in the TLTs. So let's see what happens here. DRCT is dragging a little bit. I feel like it should already have gone. My ticking time bomb about to go off here. So we could get stopped out for a small stop out there, but definitely would cancel that stop buy at the 385s there. TLT is coming back, so let's see if we get a little bit of a shakeout and it comes right back up here. Moving my 1 penny down to 53s, just to kind of affect it off the supply chain there. Mara is one that I really need to start seeing turn around now. It has a nice little setup to do so, and it did do a little bit of a shake towards like 918s, but this needs to change to a green candle real soon. So I got 2 longs, 1 short. Let's find out what happens. Mondelez is where I'm taking a little bit bigger swing because I've been waiting for this stock for a little while now. I'm looking for the decline to come in here.
Michael Santoli trying to say that the market should look through the weak print of the Michigan consumer sentiment due to the one-time write-down of the Michigan sign stealing scandal.
Oh, shots fired.
Michael Santoli. Look, we haven't really talked about this. No one might care, but I'm going to offer you my very quick, unsolicited opinion. I'm all for this. First of all, if you think that Michigan is winning football games because of this sign stealing scandal, you're a Looney Tune. Straight up. That is the nicest way I can put it. You're absolutely crazy. Every team is trying to do this. Sign stealing has been around forever. It's actually legal and encouraged in the pros. So to say that Michigan is undefeated because of this is a laughably horrific argument. Now, that being said, they did break the rules. Someone's going to get punished. I think Harbaugh's not going to survive this. And guess what? We're in Chicago. We're waiting for a pretty good football coach. So let's let Harbaugh win the national championship with Michigan this year, go off into the sunset, and then fix the Bears franchise next year. Shout out if they can get Lincoln Riley as their offensive coordinator.
Shout out. All right, guys, I'm about to step up here, Mondelez. Just looks like a nice VWAP rejection here.
Market's still coming in here after that print.
All right, getting after it a little bit more. Now about 250. Mara, close to stopping me out there. Mara loves the whipsaw, man.
DRCT, the longer this holds in, the better I feel about it. It still doesn't mean that it won't knife. It could still knife.
I kind of like that move. That it just did.
Still knife, but just saying.
Let's go to the 5 minute there. All right, it's time to play rule of 3. Oh man, we're already moving. There we go, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
TPST, huh?
Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, maybe down 3, but I wouldn't want it to break 57s from here on out. So I'm still tightening up here. Let's go. Let's go. It's a little bit of a wall at the 380s, so that's where it stopped right now. We need to just ramp through there and get to 4 on a quick action if this is really going to go.
TPST did reclaim its VWAP here, Tuna. Maybe this will get going. We need some more volume, I feel like, to get this going, though.
All right.
The penny stocks are the ones that are moving here. GTCK, Blink. Actually, that wasn't the penny. That was probably the best mover here this morning.
All right, as I start to see Mara start coming back, 931s, I'm going to add. So I'm setting up that add right now. If it starts to work its way back, I still have that stop loss below it. But if I hit that add, then I'll have to move up my stop loss towards these lows.
Half Hitch Brewing. Love to see it here. Hope someone caught the pullback on Blink 3 to 330 in 12 minutes. Pretty good game. This is a type of scalps that I really like, Half Hitch. I mean, honestly, 30 cents in 12 minutes. I'll take that anytime.
Will DRCT be the next stock that gets a nice little ramp? Let's go to the daily chart on this thing. Daily chart has some resistance at 411, so next stock from there would be 450s. So that's going to be where I can expect a little bit of a slowdown. The next move higher than 4 would be that 450 spot, 443s, somewhere in that area. This stock has been as high in early January, it was as high as $6. And the stock has done a run before to the 435s, 450 areas, and then made another run from 450s to 663s. And I'm looking at daily charts. So going back in time. Mara heading down there. We'll see if it gets that ad. All of a sudden, just a pop ad. But also keeping my close eye on Mondelez here.
13, good morning. Great to see you this morning. Hopefully you awoke from your gravestone doji. Wink, wink. You see what I did there? LOL. But real quick, just to answer your question here, morning team, what's running? Pow. This is actually a shout out to 13. This is a play that we've talked about for a long time. Pow reported earnings and is down, but is really doing a good job popping off the bottom on good volume and bringing a bid under it. So I actually added on my long-term swing here on Pow. Let me bring it up, Mitch.
Yeah.
I actually added on my long-term swing here on Pow. I'm really not
and adding up, do you mean like you're adding up ammo in the house, or you're adding up stock?
Oh, good. Well, both. This morning, let me be a little bit more clear. This morning I've added shares of POW on this dip.
Okay. I thought you were just collecting bullets, man.
Well, I am doing that too, but I haven't made an order. I guess a couple of weeks ago.
Oh man, that's how it is, man. I've been seeing that trade mentioned often too. Uber, man, look at the Ubs.
Adding
Uber
shares and shells. Lol, 13.
Look at that Uber move, man. I think they hate Lyft, man. That's a nice move there on Uber today.
Tesla giving it up.
Moving. That was an interesting one there. Let me go to the Qs here. Look at the top movers there. D-Dog, AMD, PanW, one that we talked about, the cybersecurity stocks, man. That might have been a play today. I know that the chat mentioned it for the China situation. And
that's been a tough trade, though. That maybe this is the time, Mitch. But just that's been a real tough trade.
Nice action though out the gates, right? I mean, PanW.
PanW is the outlier. PanW is best in breed. The stock does nothing but go up, it seems, and then beat earnings. So I mean, can't argue with PanW. Wish I owned it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Moving down the stop by, man. I want to get after it here. Ooh, Mara just added. I noticed that. I heard click. I was like, ooh, gotta go pay attention.
Orgo. Smoke Tuna has been shouting Orgo for the past 5 minutes here. 235, your breakout spot on Orgo. Let me bring this up here real quick. This is what we're looking at, right? If we can break out of this sideways formation, we can go higher here on Orgo. Smoke Tuna, we're looking at it. We're watching it.
All right, starting to step up to the plate here in Mara. All right, it's like how it's starting to prop. So I'm looking for pullbacks to 28s or 30s. So I'm going to put 28s out. Let's put 26 just to give us a little bit of room.
Voodoo, I like your outlook there. That is phase 2 of the defense program. But just in case, need to have a healthy stock on hand. Nothing beats training. Don't forget that. Nothing beats training. Make yourself the weapon.
DRCT, baby.
Mitch, what I see here let me bring up your screen. What I see here is that it's really encouraging that we're holding in there, right? That we're not breaking down. But at some point, it's got to make this move up. It's got to break out of this. It's got to go high. It's got to move. I'm glad to see it not breaking down, but it's got to move at some point. Hopefully, we end up getting this above 390.
So there's a pre-market resistance that it started to hold above. So that could be a level that we can maybe risk off of, which is around the 360s. So at this point, it's like hold 360 for me, right? I'm cool with you doing whatever the hell you want to do as long as you hold 360.
That would be okay with my stop as well. So
one thing that I think I'm doing well with it is I'm still focused on plenty of other stocks in the market, right? I've been trying to do this more often, not just getting all my attention towards one stock and then just not watching anything else is going in the market. So trying to catch other opportunities as well.
13, the next time you make it up to the Detroit office, we'll make some time and go hang out with Voodoo. Maybe go to that cigar lounge you like.
Oh, I'm gonna be in Detroit soon enough, man. We gotta get moving. We gotta get moving on that. Santa Claus is coming, baby. Santa Claus is coming to Detroit. Yo, Ryan, but if you come to Detroit, can you dress up like Santa and I could be an elf?
No.
Come on, dude.
I can't.
We'll walk down the street and have some fun.
I'm not stuffing a pillow in my stomach, and I'm not putting on an itchy white beard. Nope.
I was even going to be the little elf for you, bro.
You can still be an elf. And I mean, I'm 6.5 feet tall.
We'll dress up AB also, so we'll have multiple elves.
We'll have elves on shelves. Let's go.
Let's do it. We'll be the stock representation of the elf on shelf. Oh, guys, you guys see it.
Look, we're having fun. Mitch, it is a Friday. It is a victory Friday, by the way.
Yeah.
For me, it is a victory Friday. Speaking of victory, the Bears win was one thing last night. That was their Super Bowl. Okay, that was the one game this year that they needed to win.
Was a football game on last night?
Yeah, I can't believe it either. But that wasn't even the biggest news. The biggest news was the Blackhawks and Connor Bedard went bananas yesterday. First multi-point game, 2 goals, 2 assists. He dominated. He's something special. Things are good with the Blackhawks.
That scares the living hell out of me, that one. All right, but Mara's getting in our favor now, really starting to move. I'm moving up the ads here, just starting to get added on pullbacks, but I want to see Mara now do a little bit of a takeoff here.
Oh, Voodoo saying we'll hit the greasy spoon that you own stock in. That's got to be Portillo's. We're going to have to go to Sterling Heights in order to do that, but I'm in.
My man. Coming at it. All right, guys, what's going on in the TLT? What's going on in some of those stocks? TLT is going down here. Qs are trying to bottom out here, though. We'll see what happens there. Definitely a little bit of a shake there. Mara trying to, look at that quick pullback in Mara. That was a quick one. Got to be careful with that one. That was a little bit of a shake. Set the stop. Let it work, baby. Let it work. We're 300 shares deep, Mara. Back above 940s, 950s. That's going to be the next ad, but we'll see if we get there. DRCT is trying to break that support that I talked about. You can see the line there drawn. It has a pretty good line if it can hold 360s. Fake out here, but anything below this kind of 355, and I got to go.
That's what I said. That's what I said. 354 is my actual stop price. But it's that breakdown of 355 that's really got me concerned. Hasn't happened yet, so we're going to wait it out.
Gonna wait it out. See what happens here. The Qs are coming down a little bit there, but SPY's the worst, I think, of the three. Expedia is leading the action in the SPY today. You don't see that often. EXPE. Look at this move. Boom. Nice little move there.
I took my eyes off of it. Shame on me. INVO halted to the upside again. Okay, halted to the upside again. This actually might be going for the intraday high. I've got it in pro, Mitch. Sorry about that. Intraday high of 190. We're only 10 cents away. Let's see what happens. This should be, I think, a 10-minute halt, 5 or 10-minute halt here on INVO. Surprised to see it coming back up here after that. This might go higher.
All right, we'll see if Bitcoin moves and lifts. Airbnb lifting today. Pan W looking like it wants to make another move. AMD is looking like a little bit of a slowdown there, but I'm looking around. Look at that Expedia go. Meta is going higher today. Norwegian Cruise Lines looks like what is going on in leisure today. Definitely seeing a trend there. American has pulled back a little bit here. Will American get back to the green today? I don't know, but daily chart has a nice little 9 EMA hold around the 1050s spot. So that's the area that I'm be looking for that to hold today, maybe reverse off 1050s. Let me see if I can get one more bottoming attempt on American today. I'll let you guys know if it gets to that 1050 area. American Airlines might do a little bit of a swing trade life. So I'll put like 52s. I would like it to like double bottom off of that and then see it starts coming back. Look at Mara coming for the shakeout. Shake and bake me. It comes back towards that 18s. I'm going to get out. I already set it off the low here. I talked about I'd risk off this bottom, right? Bottom of the low, 918s. That's where the stop's set. We'll see what happens on that one. DRCT still struggling, but above 60s, guys. That's all I need to see for me to stay in it. Now it'd be nice to see this kind of close actually above this line and then really start to make that up move back towards that 380s. There's been a fight in 380s. I'll tell you that much. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's get after it. CVNA tanking. Yeah, that looked pretty weak yesterday, Marty, on Carvana. We looked at that one a little bit on Start Swing Trade. Carvana is taking a big hit there. That's going to help your like affirms also come down. That momentum trade getting smacked right now. And with that being mentioned, a little Sark action. Little Sark. Sark. I have to maybe play this one day and then just call Matthew Tuttle. Be like, I just bought your ETF. What do you think about it? TPST, slow but rising. I see you, 13. I see you. Who likes that Sark action? ARKK to the downside. Unity bounce back, man. People played that bottoming. People love playing. You know, this is something to always take a look at, guys. Are we seeing more and more of this type of action where a stock can go to like an extreme low and then just work its way back up? Because to tell you the truth, it took a lot to go after that. But I talked about how there was a 21.21 like kind of low there on Unity. That's the all-time low. And would it close below that? And today just shoots back up on Unity. So that's a crazy little move there. I don't know if you guys caught that, but look at the action there on Unity, right back up. Interesting move there for sure. Smoked tuna. I wouldn't know if there's the Wick Fest, but yeah, there is the Wick Fest. I've been trying not to look at it.
Here, let me bring mine up then. Let me just do that. You can really see it on the 3-minute chart. Smoked tuna is absolutely right. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a downside wick. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, it's just they're all wicks. That's absolutely right, tuna.
Yeah, they're trying to shake and bake you. We'll see what happens there.
Thanks, Lynn. Really appreciate your support. We can't get everybody to support us, but the few OGs that do it, we really appreciate that.
It's always important, guys. Just let us know, guys. We try to do our best to, keep this 100% free, and it is. So the way that you guys support us is just by hitting that like button. We don't ask you guys for, your cash. What we ask for is your feedback, and that's more valuable to us.
And free.
Yep, that's the fun part. All right, Kelv, you think halt down? We'll find out. Oh, INVO on the halt down. Oof. I don't know. Blink has been showing up on my scanner here. I have this gainers and losers list that I use, guys. I don't know if you guys use it. Gainers and losers list right here on Trade the Pool. A really nice feature, guys. I put mine by the above 500,000 volume and price over 2. So that's all I need to see from there. I'm not going to probably trade those $1 ones, but these I like to catch. Look at Blink moving today. And when Blink moves, what other stocks move, guys? Let's see who knows the relationships in the chat. I'll shoot it out there as a little trivia question for today. But of course, there's going to be other kind of charging stations. But you guys, I'll let you guys throw them up. But let me not give you guys the names, right? We'll see what you guys have up your sleeve. Uber's been strong. Now that's starting to pull back. Mondelez going in the red there, close to stopping me out. I have my stop set right there at $50 loss. We'll see if we get that loss there. It has just been climbing up there. I don't want to see it back above this high here, this 84. So if I get stopped out here, 87, I'll put 88s. But other than that, I got to get the heck out. DRCT just went red for a second there, so that doesn't look too good, but we'll see what happens. That's shaking all around. 372s now showing up there. How is the Qs looking here? Qs are propping, but how's the TLT? TLT looks like it wants to kind of bounce, VWAP bounce here and go higher. We'll see if that can keep pushing.
Frank asking about what's an OG. OG stands for original gangster. And it's a term that's used, it's a term of endearment, meaning that you were one of the early loyal followers.
The early adopters.
Early adopters. There you go, Mitch. Using stock market lingo with the Urban Dictionary. Let's go. Let's go. You guys are talking about TPST. Let's take a look at TPST here. We're going to wait for DRCT to work. DRCT, not nearly as volatile. TPST, what are you guys looking for? A break of 314 on that resistance. There is some size there. We'll see if that ends up taking it.
See if Mara wants to make a move.
CLSK. That is, oh man, that may, I mean, maybe this bounces off the bottom, but yikes.
DRCT going up here, guys. Will we finally get the break here?
Oh,
I'll put it up here. Let's see it.
EJH has a big block at 287. You know what?
Like this outlook.
It's Friday. F it, Mitch. I'm going after this. 1,000 shares long right here at.
Whoa. Stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, I got to get to see if I can. Oh, I can't get it.
Our DRCT might run here, Ryan. So you might want to also take a look at that because this is moving already. 379
there we go.
here. And look at the wall at the 380s again, man. Right off the 380s. It showed up for a second there, guys. Back down. Probably going to stop us out on this chase.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a shake right there. Let's see if they shake and bake us. Man, there was a wall right there, the 380. This is why I'm glad I have my stop buy above the 380s. Do you see the stop buy right here also? If it takes that, then I want to add. But right now, that just showed me you got to be careful off of that.
EJH filled here at 187. They took that huge block. Holy smokes. So let's see if that goes. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't.
Mara also trying to shake on the bake. It's down there to 920s. How's the Qs? Did we go red yet? Ooh, we are looking like we want to start falling here. Just be careful out there, team. There's a little bit of a mixed noise. You can see how the Qs are trying to hold and look bullish. But, of course, a breakdown through, like, say, 371.60s. This could start coming down here. Definitely see the trend line approach that it's trying to hold. But let's see if it comes back to these levels. Definitely looks like it's fighting right there. SPY is a little bit more on the downside. Take a look here. There's multiple bottom levels that we can maybe look off of.
INBS penny play up to the VWAP. Good call, Tuna. I'm going to stay away from it. I got to remember what the penny plays are.
This is interesting. Just got to add them to the watch list, baby. All right, let's see if we can get this back above the 380s. The battle's on there on DRCT, and there's definitely volume that's had time to size in, right? We're talking like if there was big volume here, yeah, they sized in already. So now it's kind of like, do they take it, right? Because there's a lot of volume. Look at the bid support now, 361, 10,000, 358, 6, 10. There's a lot of volume there just ready to get collected on pullback. So let's see what happens here. See if we can close this candle back up above towards like 370s and it really takes off. One just stopped me out there. And of course, what was that one? Mara. So Mara taking that downside action there. And hey, guys, I tried to play the Bitcoin play again, stomped on there. Did not work out for me today. But hey, Qs are going down. So I'm not too mad about that. Not going to take the takedown there and the Qs there. We'll see what happens there. SPY is coming down too. It just broke new lows there. So it went down towards a 434.62. That doesn't look good there for that downside action play. Mondelez not looking too bad now as it's turned around from that high. I can actually move my stop a little bit down here. Don't want it to come back to 86. Now looking for it to come down and break the 68.40s. It's DRCT. Can it move? Can it move?
Still holding in there.
Man, there was such a wall that got put up there. It was a crazy thing, man. That like it looked like it was about to break through 380s. I thought I was going to get my next ad, and all of a sudden, nope, get that.
See if we can get rolling here. Pow, some big prints in Pow. That was a decent ad this morning.
All right, I see Figs showing up. This is taking
Figs was discussed by Ron Barron this morning when he was discussing his portfolio on CNBC. That was what the big pop was. You can see it really kind of sold off here, but it's holding this level here on Figs. That might go higher.
There's a lot of people that like this company. I mean, the healthcare industry really likes this company, but do they have enough to like get the value, right? Because I mean, they only sell to like a very limited customer base. I don't know, man. That's a little bit of a harder decision for me. All right, DRCT, man, just struggling here, guys. Struggling.
Here we go on Pow. Let's go higher here.
Pow, pow,
Pow,
pow.
pow, pow.
Pow, 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 pow. IWM about to go red. Ooh, Eldon wants that downside action today. Qs to stay on the 372. Okay. TPST taking some off the table. It's just sitting there. Yeah, I feel like the same way right now. That's what's happening in DRCT. I was excited that went down DRCT. Hey, why are you excited? Nah, just messing.
No, he said I was excited. Then it went down.
Oh. Ryan, thanks, bro. Thanks.
You're welcome, dude. Just trying to look out here, Mitch. Just trying to look out here.
Sometimes, let's just say, I guess I missed some things.
Well, I wouldn't even say that you miss it because I know what's going on. You're going quickly, and sometimes you skip over things.
Yeah.
By the way, EJH, we're going higher.
Okay.
Three is the next spot here on EGH. There was a huge block that they started to chomp, Mitch. I took some. Mm-hmm. It actually came in after they cleared that block out and immediately came right back on. Now we have another block here at 3. So we're looking to take that out.
I like the ascending triangle pattern on the 1 hour for that one. Exactly that pattern. And now I'd look for it to hold like 284s on pullbacks. Here's 299 for you.
Let's take 3, baby. Let's go, Mitch.
There's the little wall there. It's not that big either. Only 16,000 shares for a $3 stock. That's not much.
The other one was 118,000, Mitch.
Nah, that's a wall. That's a wall.
Why do you think I added 1,000 shares? I was like, I'm gonna get a piece of this wall. Let's go.
Yeah, and you guys can always look at that too. Use the market depth feature on Trade the Pool. I use that. You guys can see that right here. Look,
it's right great. Here.
So
I'm actually using the Super Dom. I think that's a little bit different. Maybe it's
a little bit more advanced, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, but it does the same thing, right, Mitch? We're looking at the same data.
Yeah. And the key there is that to me, that one confuses me a little bit more. I want something simpler, and then Ryan has like the more advanced feature of this, essentially. And then that also gives you an ability to look at the ladders and stuff like that.
Well, the reason that I chose this, Mitch, is because this is something very, very similar to what I'm familiar with in Thinkorswim. So
Exactly.
there was no learning curve. I was like, oh, I know how this works.
Yeah, I agree with the symmetrical triangle outlook there, Webcoin. So shout out to you. You guys, you get a point. You get a point today. Ryan, you got the cash register there. I got to get my thing up. Oh, get it, baby.
And he's leveling up too.
I like it. I like it. Webcoin, though, good call out. This is exactly what I see there on that chart also.
Webcoin, good call out on the
out.
EJH too. But he mentioning it's a scammy company. We're in here for a technical trade, man. We are not going to hold this scam POS, if you will. So good shout out on that too.
Speaking of interesting stories, I've been actually looking into getting a little bit into the drone life. So if you guys are DJI fans or drone life fans, let me know, man.
Do you mean stock or do you mean like actually flying a drone around?
Like actually getting my commercial pilot license.
Okay. Because last year I bought a $70 drone from Costco, and it's fun to fly around, but I didn't need no license for that.
Yeah, no, I'm talking. I want to go big, but hey, I also like the the FPV life. But like here's Soxel actually setting up for an up move. I think it's actually interesting to see there, guys, because the truth is the market is looking like it's dragging, but look at Soxel. Soxel is pretty strong here, guys. So we'll see what happens. It just bounced off of VWAP, could go right back to the upside. This market just loves to like hold on right now. So I'd be a little bit careful, but SPY looks weaker, way weaker than the Qs. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on that right now, that relationship, to see what happens here. All right, we'll see what happens with this Mondelez. Definitely not going to get it above that 86 spot. That will get me out. I'm right above that. Could get out there. Maybe I go to the 87 spot, but that's about it. Just because I see like the leveling there at this 87. So I don't want them to go to that 1200 order. So I pay attention to things like that. So like if I want to put my stop where like there's some more sizing, that will put like a little bit of a wall there. And so like that's what I look at a lot of the time. So where's the next wall layer? Now, if they get through 83s, it's not going to be looking good for me. I'm okay with being slightly above that 83. DRCT still just chomping around, but it's holding these kind of like 360s attempts to the downside. And that's what I'm okay with, because that could always be what? Bigger volume getting in, bigger volume getting in. And so things like that is fine for me to see, because let's say if I did put in like 100,000 share order, I'm going to affect the stock, right? I'm going to probably take a little bit. So as long as it keeps holding in this 360s, these attempt to the downside, that actually is a good action for me. But I do see the symmetrical triangle action there. And so good call out there. This is the 15-minute chart here. All right, so you get kind of like that impulse action, that pullback, impulse action, pullback.
That INBS continuing to move here. For you penny players, you guys got the stocks that are moving today.
All right,
INBS
guys.
continuing to push.
I drew it out here, guys. Look at that. Look at the features that I'm using on Trade the Pull here. I'm using the 1, 2, 3, 5 click that you guys can find right here on the left-hand side, where you have Elliott impulse waves, right? So you see these impulse and pullbacks, impulse and pullbacks. Now I'm looking for it to really kind of take off, not break that low of that 355 and start to push through this kind of big move. We'll see if it can actually do that. Well, not my pilots. I'm not flying. I'm not flying a plane. I wish I was flying a plane. I've actually thought about doing that. But no, drones. DJI, baby. There you go, BZ Films. Yeah, I want to fly some drones, man. Maybe take some drone footage. All right, here's an attempt to the downside there on that DRCT. Could stop me out there. See what happens. Mondelez continuing to work now, and the Q's coming down a little bit here. So will we finally start to see the leak here? I might step up to the plate on this Mondelez. This might be the one that I step up today. There's the stop out in that DRCT. That's not a good outlook. It just gave that quick little downside action, and there she goes through the 340s. Now, I don't want to hold off this attempt for the 340s. Some people could look at that as kind of another bottoming attempt and see it come right back, but I wasn't going to hang around for that. Definitely stopping me out there. Took a shot there. Hey, that's how it goes sometimes. This is the last one that I'll be taking. This will be like my kind of strike 3 attempt here. I'm just going to keep watching it. Just want to see if the SPY goes lower and the Qs go lower. And then that could be the way that I could add one more time in Mondelez and look for the nice win there.
Stopped out of DRCT.
Yep, got out of that too. It was looking good there for a long time, but it just does that down attempt there.
It, yeah. Look, we took the shot. We took the shot. You took the shot. Keep your position protected. Still in EJH.
Q still looking like they want to bounce. Then that's the interesting part there. Coin going lower. Soxel still holding on. That's the interesting part. The way that the weakness is there, it's interesting to see it so kind of just hanging on there. SQQQ's hanging on to the VWAP also, though. So it's kind of like that battle right now, especially with the leverage plays. Pan W right off the VWAP. Will this VWAP bounce today? That was probably the best mention in the morning if we would have played it. The Pan W move. Because that's actually held all day, even on the pullback in the overall market. Lift going higher, guys. I don't trust that one, but
Juliet saying, hi, Jesse sent me. Well, then that's awesome because Jesse's amazing. So he sent you to the right spot, Juliet. Welcome.
That's what it's all about. Welcome to the family.
We'll have to thank Jesse when we see him next.
Yeah, I was actually catching Jesse yesterday in our late night 7 p.m. cannabis earnings recap from the Dales Report, guys. So if you guys didn't catch that, you guys got to catch out that podcast. It's pretty interesting. Interesting characters, and they don't hold back. They even had a special guest join them. They were covering a stock's earnings, and the CEO just called them up and was like, yo, I'll hop on right now. That's what it's all about, guys. Where do you guys get that? Right here, Benzinga. Check it out, guys. Nice collab with us. Yeah, I still got Mondelez. Got to cancel that buy ad on DRCT. All of a sudden, it gets a spike up there and it adds me. No, I'll be passing on that offer. But it's still something that you could look at later in the day. If it recovers, I would say like 380s. That's the only way I'm looking at it, though. Unity, man. The reverse on that. Really strong there, but slowing up. This is kind of a little bit of a slow up pattern. Could pull back to the VWAP. That's kind of the way I would play it here. Especially the Q's break to the downside here. This doesn't look too bad. Nice risk to return on this. Do we take the shot? It's about 30 cents to the upside, but about $1.10 to the downside. So it doesn't look too bad on the risk to return. Palantir, yeah, pretty decent, strong move. This one's holding daily charts, so that's at least good. You can see how it's holding daily charts there. It's trying to get through 19. There's definitely resistance there. Q's looking weak here. We'll see if the SQQQ starts to do a little bit of a takeoff here, but definitely not looking the strongest yet. Soxel still towards the top end of the range. Very mixed signals there, at least from the technology areas of the market. Here goes Mondelez now turning around, like really giving us that turn. So this is where I'm going to step up to the plate on this one. I'm going to go one more 100 shares in here and start looking for the breakdown. We'll see if we're able to get it.
See if
I guess I don't like
can take
candles.
off.
I guess I don't like candy, guys. See what happens here.
MVST to the highs here as that broke above its high.
Okay.
Jay's INDI really kind of holding in there and flagging.
Guys calling yeah, that Unity is an interesting move for sure. It gave horrible outlook. This is how you know that stocks can move up even with like the worst earnings. Like Unity was expected to make money, Ryan, and they lost money. Then they pulled the guidance. The stock goes up. That's life, man. That's how it is sometimes. Like if this was any like normal company in a normal environment, yeah, that doesn't happen, team. But the key is if you think about trading always as logical, that's where it gets very difficult because look at the action too. It's straight up out the gates. They missed on revenue, really bad miss on EPS, and not providing guidance. That's like a strike 3 negative there, but hey. All right, let's see what happens with this one. I'm going to keep a close eye on it, but just stocks kind of slowing down here. Things getting a little bit dull here, but it's 10:43. We're going to be wrapping up at 11. Team, stick around. We always got a lot more for you guys right here on Benzinga. Coming up next, you guys will get into the all-access action, so definitely smash the like. Looking around to see what else is being mentioned. Good Lord. We'll see what happens out there. Valero still in the green there for me. I'm seeing energy coming back a little bit today, but still deep in the red. Now heading actually lower. That I actually might add to Valero on the swing. I have 122.79 on that one. Show you guys Valero here. See how it comes up, now starts to cut down. So any move back towards like 121.50s doesn't look too bad for an ad for me. I'm at 122.79, so above all this price action. But I'm just looking to see that's a nice little rejection there of this kind of 122 area, and it could come right back towards like this 120 area. I think oil is looking like it wants to break down a little bit further. We've been talking about this on XLE on Start Swing Trade. XLE going lower today also. Nice rejection off VWAP. This is a nice one. Green, red, rejection off VWAP, and then straight back down through the low.
Take care, Jay, and thank you for your service. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Veterans Day. Have a great weekend.
Of course. Enjoy it, Jay. It's always good to see you, my friend. Take care. Stay safe out there. That's the Jay Wild, not the Jay Rice.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't have anything good to say about Jay Rice, so.
Oh, man. Shots fired. I didn't say it.
You out here fighting with him every day. You out here fighting with him every day.
What are you talking about?
Boom shakalaka!
What are you talking about? Oh, man.
We're just stirring the pot here a little bit.
Hey, that's the only thing we can do, right? It's how it goes, guys. All right. Now, I'm definitely getting hit right now. Mondelez is starting to come back up here. Just got to set the stop here. Going to set it at 88, 2 cents above. Could stop me out in any second here. The bid's at 85. There it goes towards that level. There's a more size at 90. I'm going to put it at 90 just to give it a couple of cents. 2 pennies is not going to make a difference for me. But there's like that 1,000 level there. We'll see if that can hold. If not, it should hit me out here. Qs are still looking a little bit weak, but just bouncing now, going back to the VWAP. We'll look to see if other stocks start to return. SoxL is definitely one thing that just keeps holding. So there's definitely a little bit of a mixed signal in the markets today. If I look at what's up, I see technology, and that's it. Everything else is in the red. So that's interesting. This is one of those days where our leadership might just carry us and keep us green. So be careful out there. Apple, the strongest looking probably tech name that I'm seeing right now. At least a nice little setup here. Apple, you see it right there. I wanted to bring it to you guys before I got to some other names there, but Microsoft has continued climbing today. That looks strong there. NVIDIA doesn't look too bad, just hitting a VWAP right now. Meta is off of the VWAP also around, let's say, the 322.39, somewhere off the 322 kind of bottoming attempt there. And that's holding in there. And then TSM going higher. That's not something I see too common right now. That's actually leading the up action. I got stopped out there in Mondelez, but still got the swing trade on. 69.05. I'm a little bit higher than that, but if it comes any above that 69.25s, I'll just get out of that one too. TSM though going higher. Look at this strength. That's why I think that we could still get a Q's rally here. TLT's not selling off either, so that's something that to keep an eye out for. So the bulls still in control. At least that's what I see on the charts.
I don't see a whole lot going on out here, Mitch. I apologize.
No, it just shows me that like if nothing's going on, well, that's probably going to mean that the market's probably continuing the trend that they've been, which is this bullish tune. I don't see things turning around unless we get some ugly mentions by the Fed. And the daily chart on the TLT is very important. As long as it can hold this kind of 87 level, I think we're okay here, and we could make an attempt to move back to 89 and 90s. So keep watch of that. Back through 90s, oh man, people are going to be talking about potentially that the SPY could get towards the highs of the year and come right back up. So we'll see what happens with that. Will we get back to those levels? I don't know, but definitely something to keep an eye out for, guys. SPY's been holding in though. Even though it's coming down, it's still holding in. And it has a nice kind of daily bottom levels to look at. Daily bottom of 433, 433.29. Yesterday, 433.07. So those could hold today, and they come back up to the upside. Apple's probably one that looks a little bit better than most. I like that chart look. You guys can see that here, even though it's been going up significantly since their earnings, right? Still a nice little setup. We'll see what happens on that Apple. All right, guys, it's 10:48. What are you guys taking a look at for maybe a little bit of some weekend swing action? Of course, you guys can check out Trade the Pool. I'm going to throw up the link here so you guys can go ahead and take a look. What are you guys taking a look at for maybe weekend action? All right. Throw out the link here in the chat. Check out, of course, Trade the Pool. And INBS in this BS now. We'll see what happens, man. DRCT is trying to come back, so who knows? Maybe it does come back. Blink hanging on there. Docs going lower. Figs pretty much not moving. Palantir with another step up through that 19. So those Palantir traders are going to be happy about that one. And then the bearish gold ETF, Dust, going higher. This NU looks interesting. That's a nice little move. I don't know what NU even is. What is NU? New Holdings, Financial Services.
Yeah, that isn't that a Chinese one?
It is. The daily chart actually doesn't look bad. It's holding 9 EMA pullbacks towards around the 830s, trying to get through a high.
Brazil.
Here
it's Brazilian, not Chinese. Excuse me.
It's interesting chart. I'll tell you that much. For a name that's not talked about often, with a 1 cent spread, not a bad one to keep an eye out for. I don't trade this one often, but it's definitely trading symmetrically. And I like stocks that trade symmetrically, especially on the daily charts. A lot better than the pop and drop sometimes from the smaller names. Look at TSM continuing the upside. This is what tells me that, to me at least, I think we can get a little bit of a rally here versus the red action. So let's say on Apple, maybe a bottoming action. I grab it here on a quick pullback to 183.80s, 183.75s. Doesn't look too bad, especially if it comes back through 184.60s. But that's if you see that up action, right? We'll see what happens. Q's made an attempt to go back through 372.75. Now pulling back off the VWAP. All right, it's 10:51 in about 5 minutes or so. We'll start switching over to all access, guys. Smash the like out there. There's a nice little recovery there of Apple. Let's see if it just takes off here. Nvidia is starting to push there. Microsoft trying to get to new highs. Even Tesla coming back a little bit. That just goes to show me. Amazon is about to break VWAP there. That's had a nice little pullback. Might just take another push back up. Netflix going higher. Disney red. That's pulling back a little bit today. Ooh. I see something I might want to take a little bit of a swing at. Yeah, let's take a little bit of a swing at this, guys, for the weekend. Things don't look too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a swing trade here with my trade to pool account. So I'm going XRT. And I want to risk about $1 on this position, right? And I don't want to go too crazy, right? Max risk had been about like $77 on the day. So let's do like a $50 risk, right? So I can do like 25 here and look for maybe a 58.80 add. So I'm going to go ahead and get in with 25 here, looking for 25 add off the low and then risk about $1. We'll see what happens. This is a swing trade that I can do with the buying power because it's small, right? I'm not using an insane amount. We'll see what happens there. XRT. Of course, this is kind of like a Q4 Santa Claus rally type of trade. You might be looking at start swing trade, kind of looking at Ulta on this pullback too. I have a feeling that Ulta will do decent in the holidays, but then after the holidays do really bad. So it's kind of one of those plays where I could play for a little bit, look for a pop.
I'm nervous about after the holidays because, like I was saying earlier, I really think that this market's going to get shellacked as the consumer really tightens. Things are not good here. It doesn't really matter who tells you that they are. They're wrong. Things are not good here in this economy, and I would imagine that 2024 shows you that.
Woo. Soxel. To the highs. I kept pointing this out. It was odd to me, the weakness in the Qs, but the strength in the Soxel. Semiconductors holding up this market right now. TSM holding up this market. So that's why I feel like, okay, maybe Apple gets that lift here. We'll see if it just does a nice little takeoff here towards the 11 o'clock hour, but the market is resilient as ever. And then you know what this shows me? Big money was buying that dip, baby. Big money rules the market, guys. And I tell you right now, it seems like they're trying to drive this market higher, make the money before the end of the year, and then drop it to us. So just be careful out there. I feel like that's an easy way for bears to lose a lot of money because I can't blame you guys in thinking that things aren't that good out there. That doesn't mean they can't drive the market higher and then sell out, right? So that's one thing that I'll be looking at. And I feel like this market is driving for that Q4 kind of rally towards the end, and then probably repositioning for the new year, right? Be careful out there, team. Apple propping here. We'll see if it takes that next step up, breaks through the trend line, and starts to move. So there's the trend line. Let's see if it really starts to make it. You can see how the wicks have been going right to that and kind of turning around here. Let's see if it just does a drive up here. SPY, kind of similar chart. See kind of that trend line approach, trying to come back up. See if it does this little push to like 436. Microsoft still holding that kind of just climbing action. Just wedging higher. Palantir now to 920s. So definitely
Mitch, I'm gonna get rolling.
Strong there.
I'm going to get rolling, but we're going to be back next week.
Yeah.
So have a good one. I know we're about to sign off here. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week.
No worries. Have a good one, Ryan. Take care, my friend. All right, we're going to be switching over in just a second here. You guys will get AB in the all-access switch over, so we'll see what happens. I did take that XRT. I'll let you guys know if I do get the ad. Find out about that later today on Start Swing Trade, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. But stick around, like always. We got a new story to uncover for you guys on all-access coming up next. Stick around. All right, Half Hitch Brewing, you have a great weekend too, man. Believe it or not, I haven't been drinking too many beers lately, so I still got some of the ones you sent me. I appreciate it, and they all been great. So who knows? I'll definitely be on the Half Hitch Life this weekend. Appreciate you in the chat. 13, everyone out there, Sydney, Smoke, Caleb, Jay, all you guys that stick around with us, especially until this time, all the way until 11. We really appreciate it. It just shows us how much you guys want to learn, and learning with us makes it fun, right? I know that's what we try to accomplish every day. Hit the comments after the show. Let us know what you want to see more or less of right here on live trading. Let's go ahead. Let's bring on my man AB as I see the SPY already trying to climb higher and the bulls in full control. All right, let's go ahead. Let's bring him on here. How we doing, AB?
What is up, Money Mitch? Happy Friday. How you doing, man?
Not bad, man. It's Friday. The market's still staying green. And, it kind of sucks when we get that real dump off, sell off on Friday. So to tell you the truth, market's being green today. You can't be mad about it. It's been a crazy lift. We didn't get 10 days, but maybe just one red day. And now that next green move doesn't look too bad. I'm sure you're playing the upside out there.
Yeah, I mean, this trend has been incredible the past 2 weeks. Last week, of course, Mitch, the S&P 500 closing up more than 5%, the best week of the year. So really silencing a lot of the bears out there. Like you said, the bulls in control. So we'll just have to keep watching this Friday to see if we finish the week strong. And yeah, we'll be back next week.
Yeah, I'm taking a little bit of an overnighter. I'll be looking at the retail game with XRT, just trying to play a little bit of that Santa Claus rally. Have you been good, AB? Is Santa Claus bringing the gifts, or is Santa Claus bringing the coal this time?
I think I've been good. I think I'm at least hitting above. I'm at least getting more than 50% of the things on my Christmas list. I think this year is. I think that would be a fair from Santa. A little bit more than 50%. I'm not going to get too greedy.
Love it. Love it. We'll have to do a show where you tell us what's on your Christmas list. Of course, maybe some new products that are out there. We can talk about that. Have a good one, AB. Take over and get to the all access life.
All righty, y'all. Welcome everyone from Benzinga's Live Trading to Benzinga's All Access, where we bring you exclusive interviews with publicly traded CEOs and C-suite executives. Today, I will be having on Brian Esposito, the CEO of Diamond Lake Minerals, that is on the OTC markets, ticker DLMI. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Mr. Esposito on the stream. All right, Brian Esposito, the CEO of Diamond Lake Minerals. Brian, how you doing today?
Hey, good, Aaron. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for taking time out of your busy Friday to join us. Before we get started, do you mind just giving us a brief overview of your company?
Of course. Well, I'm honored to taking over as CEO of Diamond Lake Minerals in August. What we're doing is bridging the traditional securities market with the future of digital securities. So I'd like to look at us like an old school General Electric conglomerate model. Our intentions are a highly coveted subsidiary, industry agnostic across all different companies and industries. It is strictly focused on bringing in revenues, sharing those revenues and earnings with our shareholders, and truly focused on balance sheets, increasing profitability. But the beautiful thing about what we're building here and what I've been doing over the last 10 years with digital assets and working in regulated environments such as security tokens is incorporating within those business units the idea of security token offerings. So I do believe we truly have the hybrid approach of bringing in all that generational wealth that's on the sidelines, that hear about things like crypto, they hear about tokens, they hear about NFTs and digital assets. They don't know how to get involved. They don't believe in it. They're intimidated by it. They don't know how to go and get a digital wallet. All these friction points. What I believe what we're creating here is that missing piece to get them involved in this wonderful market with something that they're familiar with. And that's going on their Charles Schwab account, calling their broker, and buying a stock that's operating in this industry.
Wow. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense and seems like something that's needed in the market today. How does having been a holding company in industrials and minerals mining affect how you do business today?
Yeah, that was the traditional model of DLMI. Since taking it over, we anticipate having subsidiaries that operate in that space. But going forward, we're going to be in things like TV, media, entertainment, music, real estate, across all 25 different industries that I currently participate in with my private holding company. So I tend to replicate what I've done in my history and my career in this public company to show that we do know how to provide value. The entire model is wealth preservation, wealth enhancement. So yes, there will be traditional minerals and minings, which DLMI has been since 1954, and that was the vision of that company. So we're going to incorporate that in going forward, but that will be one of many subsidiaries in our holdings, and it's diversification. Why I loved getting involved with DLMI and Diamond Lake Minerals, it is the very low float. So we anticipate highly coveted shares, hard to get, and mimicking GE with a little Berkshire Hathaway, where we want to have very highly valued stock. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is to perform, to execute, to bring in earnings, bring in strong profitability, and show that we are completely shareholder focused. And we want to reward our shareholders. We want this to be something that they never sell. We want this to be something that they pass down from generation to generation. It's something that they earn from. And the beautiful thing about it, again, is we're going to be educating traditional shareholders that there is such a strong opportunity in the digital asset world with security tokens, and that they're going to benefit from the work that we're doing in that space as well.
Wow. What and there's a lot of debate out there right now in Web3 and digital assets about the actual value of these digital assets. I mean, to you, Brian, what do digital assets bring? What is their real value?
Well, efficiencies. Larry Fink talked about this with his BlackRock interview a month or so ago about how the transparency is extremely important to understanding things like blockchain allow where people's tax earnings are going. So you have that component. You have the ability to participate in digital assets or security token offerings 24/7. So our security token exchange that's regulated by the SEC is INX. We've got long-standing relationships with them and their firm and the great work that they're doing. They recently got the full support and investment from Republic, which is one of the largest crowdfunding platforms in the world. So what you have, the traditional markets, they operate within their timeframes and their windows, and that's the normalcy that those shareholders and those investors are used to. So now when you combine the idea of being able to have access to investments that traditional investors may not have had access to on a global scale and have access to those business units 24/7, that's where it gets quite interesting.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background, Brian? What makes you uniquely suited to run Diamond Lake?
My entire professional career has been as an entrepreneur with my private holding company, Esposito Intellectual Enterprises. I've built that over the last 23 years. That's wholly owned by me. Within that model, there's over 110 companies that operate within that holding company. There's over 200 joint ventures around the world and proudly operating in over 25 different industries. So I have built what I like to look at a giant pool of resources, IP, technology, solutions, and services. But more importantly, I've built great relationships and access into industries that we have true proven experience in. For me, most of my career, I have made every mistake you can think of, but I've managed to battle through that. I've overcome it, and I've had quite a to the street learning experience on how to perform, how to add value, and I am always looking at win-win situations for all parties involved. So, as a public company now and operating as a CEO, the win-win opportunity that is always for our shareholders. So, in my private career, has always been adding value, boosting balance sheets, and creating opportunities in markets. Now I get to perform that in the public sector and show what I'm capable of doing. And I'm here for my shareholders. I'm here to add value. And if you look at from when I took it over in August, you were sitting at a 35-cent stock. It was stuck there for quite some time with a little over $1 million market cap. With the new direction that we've taken it, with the amazing, iconic advisors that I've added to this company to support my vision and what we're doing, within a few months, we're sitting at nearly $100 million market cap and a $3 to $3.50 stock. So what I love about now operating in the public markets is you're going to see real-time, tangible reflection of my capabilities, the work that we're doing, the momentum that we've created. And, we've just gotten started, but the market seems to love what we're doing, and we're just going to keep building one day at a time.
Yeah, it's that's impressive growth you've seen since taking over there, Brian. How are you mentioned it earlier, kind of working as that intermediary or bridging that gap, but how are you bridging the gap for traditional investors looking to gain exposure to digital assets?
again, it's through the familiarity of buying a stock. That's how we're doing step one. So within our subsidiaries, our anticipation and our plan is these business units will have a security token offering attached as one of those revenue uh, mechanisms within that business unit. So as a security token, how that works is there is a offering that goes out into the world of what a security token is and how it relates to that potential business or business unit. Typically, they're a share of profits, a share of revenues. So now what you're doing is you're bringing in a new type of investor that owns and holds that security token on an INX exchange, and that security token will be connected to the business unit underneath the LMI, and it could be across hopefully dozens or hopefully at one point hundreds of different business units, and they're earning off of the revenues or the revenue share within that business unit. So that's the strategy, that's the plan. And at some point you're going to be able to go onto your Charles Schwab account, your Morgan Stanley account, and be able to buy security tokens. That's when you start to get real mainstream mass adoption. But until that happens, it's going to be a very slow growth as to building that audience, having people trusting that process, which is why we truly believe bringing that into a regulated security like DLMI and offering regulated security tokens through our partnership with INX to be able to allow that to happen flawlessly and within the familiarity that investors are used to.
Got it, Brian. What are the biggest trends that you're seeing in crypto right now? I mean, we were talking about it earlier. The markets have just been absolutely rallying. And digital asset. What are the biggest trends you're seeing right now? How will a Bitcoin spot ETF affect the market?
Obviously, you're seeing that fuel great strength and comfort into the market. That opens up kind of like what we're doing with the LMI. That allows for investors to be able to participate in that digital asset or that Bitcoin ETF through mechanisms that they're used to. They don't have to go and get a digital wallet. They don't have to go through all those friction points. They don't have to go through a KYC on another exchange that they may not know about or trust. So that's part of this process of getting people used to understanding what these assets are, that they actually have true value and they have actually true earnings or growth potential behind them. So that's all part of the people getting familiar and comfortable with getting a portion of their portfolio involved in some capacity of digital assets. So it's great to see. It's great to see the markets are approving these things and they're being adopted. And hopefully we will set the benchmark as to the methodology for all public companies to mimic what we're doing of having a security token, digital asset incorporated into those business models so they can increase their shareholder base and they can show true transparency behind what their company is, how they're operating, and sharing those earnings with their security token or shareholders.
Got it. Brian, I understand that you'll be at the Future Digital Assets event next week in New York City. Can you talk a little bit about kind of what you're, expecting or hoping at the event to see with some of the other companies and everything there?
Oh, it's an honor to be there. So truly appreciate the opportunity for Benzinga inviting me. Some of the people that are there are people that I admire and respect in this industry. They've been working so hard to prove its legitimacy and to prove that this is the way of the future. So I expect to get continued great adoption, market awareness. Right now, the key thing is educating people across the world what these things are, how they can get involved, and more importantly, doing it in exchanges and regulated environments where their tax earnings are protected or their assets are protected. So it's great to see that the movement is happening. It's great to see some strength in digital asset. We are not a crypto company. There's an important differential between an SEC regulated public company and the word crypto. They do not go well together. So we are a digital asset security token company. I do watch the crypto markets because those investors hopefully will transfer into owning security tokens and understanding that's more of a diversified, more strategic, more thought out business plan that has really seasoned people behind running those businesses, such as security tokens. A lot of the crypto projects don't really have that type of experience, that know-how. They're not really building businesses. They're more about building community, building interactions, building these things known as meme coins. That's not where I play or what we're doing. We're going after more of the more sophisticated investor that understands things like yield, dividend distribution, revenue sharing of profits or revenue sharing of gross profits. So that's where we're going after. That's the type of investor that we're talking to. So I'm hoping that we start to see more of that through the conversations that are happening next week at Benzinga's Digital Asset Convention.
Yeah, well, we're excited to have you and can't wait. And then last question here. Brian, what regulatory changes would you like to see in the space? I mean, like if you were in charge or you had a magic wand and tomorrow could control the landscape, what would you do?
Great question. I don't like fast, drastic changes. You're talking about markets and mechanisms that have been in place for a very long time. You got to be very careful as to what rules and changes to law or regulatory start to happen. I personally think it's great that you can offer a security token through exchanges like INX, T0, Securitize. There's some great companies out there that do it right. So that's where I see the next phase of this happening. So the important thing right now is for the digital asset, crypto community, token community, security token community, we all need to focus on those security token offerings. We really need to make sure they all succeed and their raises sell out, those projects get supported. We show that there's really a true great market there, because from that moment, then we can build upon what else can we add to this to really add value, open up new asset classes in these portfolios in a regulated environment. So for me right now, my ask is to these communities is to get behind security token offerings, support them, promote them, because that's already approved and working with the SEC. So we need to start there. And from there, we can build upon what additional changes to regulatory that we need.
Well, Brian, it's been a pleasure to have you on this on Benzinga's All Access today. Again, looking forward to next week's event, and good luck with everything else.
Thanks, pal. I appreciate the time. Keep up your work.
Of course. Brian Esposito, CEO of Diamond Lake Minerals, ticker DLMI. All righty, guys. We are going to wrap up here on Benzinga's All Access. Coming up, we have a special edition of Cannabis Insider. We're going to be talking to Verano about the company's positive Q3 earnings. So if you guys want to check, make sure to stay tuned and check that out. Coming up next, special edition Cannabis Insider. And again, next week, the Future of Digital Assets event. Go to benzinga.com/events to learn more and get tickets today before they are all gone. I guess just before we wrap up, we'll do a quick market recap. SPY is, like Mitch said, it started inching right back up as he was heading out. The S&P 500 is up 0.63% right now. Q's up even higher. Tech rallying. The Q's up more than 0.1%. So another big day for tech. Hey, the trend is your friend. All right, guys, with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Again, stay tuned for Cannabis Insider. This stream will automatically redirect you over there. You do not need to go anywhere. Peace and love. We'll see you next week.